Hi everyone. So I'm going to introduce you two new vocabulary today. I need you to take notes for these two words. Please write on your notebook. One is called intrinsic property, or sometimes people call it intensive property. These two are the same meaning. Intensive means inside of it, so a property that does not depend on the amount of material. It doesn't matter if you have a big box or a small box, as long as it's the same material, they have the same property. We call it intrinsic property, like boiling point, color, temperature, luster, and hardness. Those does not depend on the material size. It just depends on the material itself. We call it intrinsic property. On the opposite, there's another type. It's called extrinsic property or extensive property. Those are the property that depends on the amount of matter. For example, volume, mass, size, weight, or length. Those really depends on the size or the amount of material. If I have a small wood block, oh, you can't see my face, but if I have a small wood block compared to I have a big piece of wood, that would give us different volume, different mass, and different size. Okay, but one thing I need you to know is density. We have been talking about density. Density is an intensive or intrinsic property, meaning that it does not depend on the amount of material. The same material has the same density. I have a whole piece of aluminum, like I have the soda can is made with aluminum, and then compared to your aluminum foil, or I have my window is made from aluminum. It doesn't matter what size, how it look like, and where do we use it. Aluminum always have the same density as aluminum. Okay, so that's what does it mean. Okay, for example, water, pure water has a density of 1 gram per milliliter, and that density is the same whether you have a small cup of water or you have a whole swimming pool of water. Okay, they always have exactly the same density as long as they are pure water. Okay, so with this property, people use density a lot to identify unknown substances. Okay, density is all because density is such a easy to measure property. Okay, we learned it how to measure density. Density is equal to mass divided by volume. So we can measure mass pretty quickly, and we can measure volume quickly, and then we just divide it, we get a number. Okay, density is very useful. For some archaeologists, they found some treasure underground and they want to figure out what kind of material is that. They can just calculate density and to figure out. So it's a very useful concept or a very useful tool to identify unknown materials. Okay, so here I basically talked about it. And if you think about this, what is the density of this material? Once we do mass and volume, we can just quickly figure it out. Okay, great. Okay, now you're gonna continue with the lab. You just started during today's live class. Some of you might already in this step, some of you might not. Just keep on doing. I put on your lab packet, it says pre-work September 2nd. Okay, you're going to continue with this Crohn's density. So we're going to figure out which of his Crohn's is real. Okay, so once you finish, I'm going to give you a very, a good practice. And I'm not sure if it's hard for you. Okay, it's always hard for us at the beginning of the school year when we write claim, evidence, and reasoning. Okay, so we're going to write a claim, evidence, and reasoning for, it's in question 11 for a complete conclusion. Okay, what are you going to do is first write the claim. It's not moving. Okay, a claim is one sentence. It's a statement to answer the question. What was the question? It's which Crohn is real. You just write one sentence, simple, answer the question directly. Okay. Again, don't use I think, Don't use I believe. Okay, it's real data. We don't, it's not what we think. Okay, great. We're going to practice. Okay, the second thing, I need you to write evidence. Okay, what data can you use to support the claim? It need to be scientific data to support the claim. Okay, I know you got some data from the lab. Okay, reasoning. I kind of graded your work. Some of you didn't turn in yet. We did the claim evidence reasoning for fat and soup. Many students didn't write it right for scientific principles. Okay, for the reasoning part, we are going to practice again. Which scientific principle can you use to support to explain why the evidence can support the claim? I'm going to give you a hint. It's in slide 3. Okay. Cool. Thank you for watching, and we're going to continue with the lab. We're going to get it done today. Okay. Here we go.